Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Courageous Leadership with Virginia Prodan. I'm glad you are here. We are glad for your comments and your suggestions. And for those of you who are new, welcome here. I am Virginia Prodan, the host of Courageous Leadership with Virginia Prodan. I'm an author, an international human rights attorney and speaker, and an author of my memoir, Saving My Assassin, published by Tyndale House Publisher. You can find the book at virginiaprodanbooks.com. I am glad that you are here today because we have a very, very special program for you. We have two very, very precious people that will share with you a lot of things that they have done in their lives and how God work in their life, and it's working. So I will advise you to close all the distractions, to take a pen and pencil, and to be ready to listen to our guest here, Peter and Jennifer Emerson. They are the creators of He Rules the World. What a wonderful name, because indeed he rules the world, and some people like Pharaoh in the Old Testament, they have their heart on something else and don't recognize that he rules the world. So Peter and Jennifer, please introduce yourself.
Well, Virginia, thank you so much for having us here. It's an honor and a blessing to get to speak with you today. My name is Peter Emerson, and I'm the composer and the creator of He Rules the World. It's a rock concert telling of the Nativity story.
Hi, good morning again. Thank you so much. Really excited to
Speak
be
a
here.
little bit louder.
My name is Jennifer Emerson, and I am the executive producer of He Rules the World.
That is wonderful, wonderful. It's a wonderful thing that you are a team. You're husband and wife, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a wonderful, sometimes the mistake that husband and wife make, that they fight with each other for who is more powerful, who is God created us and created a family to be a team. One is the leader, the other one is the supporter and everything, but each has a very important role in this. So tell us a little bit about how you started and how you supported each other.
Yes. Well, the project itself came about in late 2018 when I took my daughter to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra perform. And if you're familiar with their show, it's lights and lasers and soaring guitar solos and pyrotechnics and a great stage show that is Christmas adjacent. And the whole time that I was there seeing that, I was thinking to myself, well, this is really fantastic. And oh yeah, I can do that, and I could do that. And then eventually I was thinking, well, why am I not doing this? But the thing that stood out to me the most was that their quote unquote Christmas show, which is very good, and I've seen it a few times, their show is Christmas adjacent only and really not faith-based. And so I saw a need for there to be high quality, family-friendly, God-centered entertainment that actually told the Christmas story from a biblical perspective. And that's what I set out to do in creating He Rules the World. And I'm very fortunate that I'm the creative.
I just want to interrupt you there because you said something so precious, and I don't want the audience to miss it or to forget it. You said that you went to a non-Christian presentation and you realized that God put skills in your life that you can do this in a Christian way.
Yes.
This is very important. This is very important because a lot of people go to non-Christians and all they found out is to criticize, but they don't go to the next step and say, but I can do it this way. That's I hope that someone who is listening will say, wow, yes, I have been doing this, but now I'm going to change my perspective. You also said something that you realize that you can do something that is going to be really special. I want the audience to sit down for a minute and realize what the Lord put on their skills. It might not be in a movie area, but it might be in some kind of presentation of the gospel in a way that has never been done before. And the reason I am saying this is because I want to go one step further than what you said, and that is God created each one of us individually. He doesn't create copies, and he created each one for a mission. So I want the audience, based on what you said, to think about what is their mission. Why are they here and listening to you? Why are they here, wherever they might be, a city, area, and what God wants to do, and start from there, what you start, because look what the good Lord has done in your life.
Yes, indeed. And I've been very blessed that my creative skills have been complemented by Jen's skills, and I'll let her speak to that a little bit.
Well, and really to emphasize what you were just saying, my professional background is as an attorney and an accountant, which does not naturally lend itself to becoming involved in a rock concert. But when I first heard the music for He Rules the World, between us, we currently have a college age daughter and a 10-year-old, and they were both, younger 4 or 5 years ago. When I first heard the music, I just thought that, this is something that families need to hear. I could picture myself in a theater with my young daughter beside me, that this was something that we could go see every year at Christmas. Christmas, I love creating Christmas traditions for the family, something to look forward to, something that she'll take with her for her whole life. I thought, I want to make that available for other families. And that's how I got involved as a executive producer. I had no background at all in entertainment, but I just felt like God was saying he wanted me to use those organizational skills and logic skills and contract negotiation skills and all of those things that, I've those talents that he's placed inside of me to, also do this completely separate.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
That you apply in your work what the good Lord says. First of all, tell the next generation, your children, what God has done in your life, so they know who God is, and also involve them in your action, in your activity. It looks to me, and please let me know, but it looks to me that your work is not only a normal work, it's a worship to the Lord.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This entire experience for us over the past, gosh, I don't want to say 7 years now, but coming up on 6 years at least, has been just so full of God encounters that it's been such a blessing, and it is really the project has brought me closer to God, and it's helping me to encourage others to do the same, and I'm so grateful just for being entrusted with these capabilities to do what I'm doing, and it's been just so good.
I like what you said, and I can relate to you because you said that this project brought you closer to God. We all know that when God calls us to a mission, he never calls us to something easy. He calls to something impossible. I never heard the Lord calling me to something to say, oh, Lord, that's fine. See you next week. No, every time the Lord called me to something, it was like I lost my breath. Oh, Lord, who do you think I am? I don't have this and that, like Moses. And God listened with patience, and he always said, but I can do it through you, Virginia. So
Yes.
I want to encourage people to know and understand that when God calls us and when God calls them, maybe they think, oh my God, maybe it's my ego. I cannot do this. Well, God calls us to impossible because he wants to show the world his power, his presence in our life and in their lives. And to be encouraged and to say, Lord, here I am. Do whatever you want in my life. After all, I hope you relate to that. It's an honor and a privilege that the God of the universe, perfect God, calls us sinners to work with him.
Mhm. In fact, Virginia, there's one of the songs in He Rules the World is sung from the perspective of Mary. And in it, she's pondering, why me? I'm just a girl from Galilee. And she talks about being flawed and not worthy. And the song takes her through the journey of, understanding what the angel is trying to tell her and about this plan that God has. And then finally accepting that. And all of the songs are available on Spotify and other streaming platforms. People can just search for He Rules the World and find them to listen to the music. But that's one of the things that is so unique about He Rules the World is really hearing and understanding. I mean, these were human people. I mean, they were humans just like us,
Yeah.
with emotions like us, with doubts, and you don't always grasp that when you're just reading the words on a page in the Bible, but the story really comes to life and helps identify, um, again, this was a young woman like I was a young woman once, and what would that have been like for me? I love that element of He Rules the World.
Yeah, it's humans being called uh, by God's perfect plan and being smart enough to accept.
Yes, yeah. I want you to repeat. So you said you are a girl from?
Yes, Mary says, "Why me? I'm just a girl from Galilee."
Oh, I see. Where are you located? Where is your office located?
We're in Austin, Texas.
Okay. That's good. It's a good place to be because it's becoming more and more darker as a city, and we need as many Christians as possible to let the light of Christ
Yes, absolutely.
shine around them. Tell us just a little bit about few things that you have to overcome during this project.
Well, we were relative unknowns in this business when we started this, and so we've had a lot to overcome. We've and God has just opened doors for us in miraculous ways. First and foremost, we had a chance encounter with a producer who worked with us in 2022 when we did our first two performances of the show. And she introduced us to David Gashin, and David Gashin is our featured performer in our vocal cast, and he's most known for performing as the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera over 1,300 times in Broadway, on Broadway and in Europe. And a strong, solid Christian man who was really yearning for a faith-based project to use his skills with. And so he joined us, and he's been with us for the past 3 years. And then the door was opened to us to meet actor Kevin Sorbo. And Kevin Sorbo joined on with us as an executive producer on the project, but he also narrates portions of the story for us. That narration happens between the songs when we have a projection of some animation that helps further the story. So we've had to kind of inch our way in and meet the right people. Jen and I are self-funding the project so far, and we know that that's unsustainable for us because we just don't have the connections in the entertainment industry to take this to the next level. So some of the hurdles have just been the learning curve of, oh, we need to design a website for this. Okay, so how do we do that? Oh, now we need to have a social media presence for this. Okay, how do you do that? We need to develop contracts and reach out to vendors and venues to perform at, and such and such. It's been a learning curve for us, and of course, it's all God's timing and not ours. And if it were our timing, we'd be, we'd we'd have it done already. But we just have to have faith that we're doing the right things, and having the right approach, and it's been really just great for us because we get to meet wonderful people and have great conversations like we're having with you right now. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Tell us just a little bit how your background, and talk just a little bit of your background, but also how your background helped you to create this He Rules the World.
Yes, ma'am. My background has been as a music educator for the last 20 years. Ran a high school jazz program, and so I've been in the public school system, which I retired from this past year, and had been producing local shows for that high school, and then working for other musicians in the area. So a lot of the skills that I had came from that. But I've also been a church musician almost my entire life. My first professional paycheck came from the Methodist church where I grew up, when I was, I think, 16 years old. And so I've been on staff at First Baptist Church of Waco, Texas, for 15 plus years now, and continue to do that. And I commute up from Austin to do that and serve that community there. And so those skills have just developed over that time. And like I said, I've done a lot of work with other musicians for their projects, and just felt a real calling to do this and saying, no, I need to take the lead on this project and come up with the direction and the vision for that. And then just fortunate enough to have Jen with her skills, and I'll let her speak to that.
Yes, I have the same question for you. So tell us a little bit about your background and how your background helped you to be part of this project and help in special ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I appreciate music and I love music. I am not a musician.
Can you speak a little bit closer to the microphone, just to make sure that we can hear you very well?
Yes, so I love music and I appreciate music. I'm not a musician. As I mentioned, my professional background I'm a corporate securities attorney and compliance officer, and also have an accounting background. And so, Peter and I, and you said this at the very beginning, that we're made to complement each other and work as a team, and so we do that very well. So Peter is the creative who knows how to put on an amazing concert and work with musicians, and I try to keep it all together behind the scenes with the contracts and negotiations and the budgeting, and making sure that bills are getting paid and all of that. And so I'm both grateful and scared for the opportunity that God has given me to use my skills in this very different way.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that for her is that she is incredibly detail oriented, where I am. I don't want to say not, but I'm big picture vision, and she is. Here's how we get it done, and that complements so well with, and I think that it's just been a blessing for me to be able to work with her on this.
Isn't that amazing how God put us together in a family, that one has a skill the other one doesn't have, and they complement each other? And I hope that especially young married people understand one more time that a family is not a competition, but it's a team. You are in a boat to win against the world, and you are completing each other. But also, God puts us brings people in our lives that will have skills that we do not have it. And I believe it's a reason because God wants to have a community of, we are a family of God. And for that reason, he is giving us some skills that others can use it, but we can use other people's skills because we don't have it. And God wants, sometimes I feel like, when I'm talking about myself, sometimes I feel like God is forcing me because I would like to do whatever it takes on my own and everything. And God says, no, no, no. I have special people with special skill. You are in a family of God. So you talk about how God brought you in your life, different people from different areas with different skills. Tell us just a little bit, how can our audience and your audience enjoy He Rules the World year around?
Well, I'm glad you said year round because I think that the music, though it is Christmas themed, and it uses familiar Christmas melodies as launching points into new material, we listen to it year round and really, really just enjoy it. So I'm glad that you said year round. Our music is available on all major streaming platforms, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, iTunes, etc., just by searching for He Rules the World. And we have the original live soundtrack from our 2022 production up there that's available to listen to. And we also have our website, which is herulestheworld.com, which has a lot of really good information about the show and the cast and the crew, and it has links to the music as well. And there's some video up there as well. You can also find us on YouTube at He Rules the World, just searching for that, and there's some video clips of the show that are available up there. In the future, we would love to get this show on the road with the right financial backing and the right promoter to be able to bring this to as many people as possible. And we believe that being in theaters and concert halls and arenas is the right move for us, primarily because the Christian audience is going to come out and see this. And we know that because we've had, really good support from them so far. But we also think that if you were to invite your neighbor to go see a concert, they might be more apt to go with you if they're not a Christian than they would if you said, hey, let's go to a concert at my church. They might go, I don't know about that. But if you say, let's go down to the Performing Arts Center and see this concert, He Rules the World, that's rolling in, it's really great and you'll love it. And they'll say, oh, okay, cool. Let's go check that out. And we might reach a wider audience by doing that. So that's really our hope and prayer for He Rules the World, is to be able to bring high quality, family friendly, God-centered entertainment to not just Christians, but Christians and non-believers alike.
It's a great, great idea. Thank you so very much for mentioning that. We also have to remember that we gratefully and joyfully celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Easter. We are full of joy, and we remind ourselves and others that Christ was born and was born in order to die for us, that Christ died on the cross and he will return. But in between, that is so easy for us Christians, not only for the entire world, but for us Christians, to forget that he rules the world. Even when the circumstances show the negative, that the evil one is attacking us as Christians on every single side, and many times we might look to the world as losers. Many times I say and think, I said to myself and to my audience, remember that Christ on the cross looked like a loser. He died. He was condemned for all the good that he has done, and God raised him from dead, and he rules the world. So it's very important, yes, for your composition, your He Rules the World, to be in concert, to be everywhere, and for people to watch it every opportunity they might have, because we have to be reminded daily that he rules the world.
Indeed. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that battle has already been fought and won, and it's
exactly.
just our job to decide which side of it that we are going to be on. And we certainly want people to be on God's side.
Yes, it's you are so right about this. One is to we have to decide the side we are on, and we have to be on God's path. But we also have every single day, no matter the circumstances around us, uh, to walk in His victory. For many of you, if you didn't read the book Saving My Assassin, it's my memoir, how I defended as a Christian human rights in Romania and Christians and here in America, and how we have to walk in his victory no matter the circumstances and stand up and speak up the truth. What do you think is people's reaction, if they're Christian and non-Christian? Give us few example of people who contacted you after they were watching the movie. What was their reaction?
Yeah, we've had really nothing but very, very positive response to what we're doing so far. There have been, we got a lot of media attention in this past year in 2024 for our productions that we did. And on some of the websites that posted stories about us, there were very few, but there were a few people that posted negative comments. But that was just in general, people that would say, like, oh, here are rock and roll people trying to preach to us. But we can't pay attention to those kind of comments because those people don't know us and they really weren't there. They didn't see it. That was just somebody that is lashing out in anger over something, and we just happen to be, on the periphery of their attack. But what we've heard is that it is just a great experience for people. We've gotten some positive feedback. We've gotten really good constructive criticism that we've also acted on. But that's more on the technical side of how do you do a large scale entertainment event, not about the content, because God gave us the content. It is what it is. And so we've just had really great responses. Jen, do you want to add to that?
One of the thing that I've been so encouraged about with the feedback is that we've gotten comments from kids as young as 3 or 4 years old saying
Yeah.
they absolutely loved it, or parents saying, my child was on the edge of her seat the entire time. We had a mom reach out in December who said, my son is nonverbal, but he loved the light show and followed around with it and could feel the pounding of the drums and the rock music, in his body, and he was mesmerized. And we also have people who, grandparents who have come and perhaps brought their kids or grandkids, and they really like it. I mean, there really is something for everyone, for all ages. Totally appropriate to bring the entire
Yeah.
family. um, we've had a lot of people are very excited. A lot of people see a keytar for the first time. Peter plays the keytar in a couple of songs, and they're like,
Yeah.
"What is that? And how do I get one? And how do I learn to play one?" And so that's something that the younger kids have, really latched onto and have enjoyed. So, and I just love seeing kids interested in the actual world around them. I love that.
Mhm. I want to thank you so very much, both of you, for coming here, for sharing with us your wonderful ideas and your He Rules the World project and everything that God has done in your life.
Well, thank you very much. And once again, we want to encourage people to go to herulestheworld.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at He Rules the World Show. And you can check some things out on Spotify or Pandora, Apple Music, iTunes by searching for He Rules the World.
Yeah, thank you so much, Virginia.
Thank you so very much again. And to all of you, don't forget to send us your comments, your questions. And for those of you who never read the book, Saving My Assassin, I believe it's a very important book, special for nowadays, and how to be a light in a darkness. And you can find the book at virginiaprodanbooks.com. I hope you go to He Rules the World website, and you watch this podcast, and I hope you share it with your friends. Until next time, God bless you. And don't forget to send us your comments and your suggestions. See you later. Bye-bye.